Hey folks, today I got another scenario for you, points to ponder, things to think about. Okay, 30-year casting plant with 2 casting pits. We got 20% unplanned downtime for equipment issues, 40% planned work, that means 60% unplanned, 12% or 12 weeks of backlog, that's a big number, folks. 60% PM compliance, not good. 2% work hours come from PDM, not good. People, we got 30 craft people that all journeymen, got their journeyman cards, all highly skilled, minimum of 5 years, good group. Planners, we got 2 of them, minimum of 20 years experience, and we got 2 supervisors, minimum of 10 years experience. So fairly established group there, knows the equipment, highly skilled in precision maintenance. All the KPIs are trending down. None of these are good numbers, as you know. Not much has changed in the last 20 years. Only change we make is after events like we have a safety event, a quality event, or a business interruption. One of these casting pits goes out of service for a month. We get excited and we start a program or preventive maintenance on that particular root cause. Capacity sold out, but there is market share to get, so we can sell more if we can make more. Cost, R&M is just going up 5% a year. You got inflation hitting you. Assets are just a little bit older. You're on this nice little slide down. I'm being sarcastic there. And overtime's at 25%, pretty high, and most of that is in the day. It's not planned overtime. It just happens. So, you've been reading up. You're the maintenance manager at this site. You've been reading up on proactive maintenance, gone to a couple seminars, maybe even watched the YouTube videos on how to get reliability results, and you decide that you want to take 2 actions. One, I want to get some general reliability training for the masses. So everybody's going to get a 1-hour, what is reliability, what is proactive maintenance. Everybody's going to get that. And then your 2 planners, you're going to send them off to get certified. You're going to send them away for a week. They're going to get a week's worth of training, and they're going to get a certification in planning. So what is a reasonable result? What is a reasonable result when you take those 2 actions in 6 months? So think about that for a second. Where would you expect to be on some of these metrics 6 months from now making that? So, hey, this is Joe Kuhn of Lean Driven Reliability, bridging a gap between best practices that you should be doing and the reality that you live in every day, okay? Your reality when you come in on Monday morning. Okay, hey, I'm going to be blunt on the answer. In 6 months, you're going to be nowhere. You're going to have these same numbers. You're going to have the same trends. 6 months after that event, those the two interventions that you've scheduled and the training, you're going to be in the same place. Why is that? The reason is planning and scheduling is just one of several components you need to create a reliability culture. I listed 14 of them here. I'll go through them quickly. I've seen as high as 40 components that need to work together to make a reliability culture where you drive out waste. Remember, every single tool, every one is designed to take out waste. Okay, governance. This is your leadership team. What are they going to spend their time on? What are they going to sponsor? What are they going to resource? What are they going to measure as a KPI for performance? If you don't have the lead team on board, you're wasting your time. Unplanned work execution. This is the killer. Unplanned work, those emergency jobs that come up will just eat alive your plan. So you got to have a plan for how you're going to address unplanned work so it doesn't pull resources away from planned jobs. How you going to do planned jobs? Are your PMs any good? PDM, what's that look like? Are those in good shape? Materials management, doesn't do any good to plan a job if you don't have the right materials. How are you going to manage rebuilds that you need to have? What's your problem-solving system look like? What's your reliability strategy that you're employing? I mentioned planning and scheduling. That was the action we took. What about kitting and staging? What about work control? How does work get into the system? People get confidence that, hey, I write a work order, it gets planned, scheduled, kitted, and executed. What's that look like? What's our training for precision maintenance and on these processes? What's our training for major overhauls? So, hey folks, if you do a great job at planning and scheduling and you do a poor job of PMs, you're planning crap. You're planning junk. Your PMs aren't based on failure mode. There's too many resources assigned to them. The frequency's wrong. The steps are wrong. It does no good. So you have to have good PMs. Okay, I already mentioned governance. If you don't have the lead team sponsoring the right decisions and resourcing things, it does no good. That's example number 2. I already mentioned work execution. That's probably the number one thing I've seen interrupt people's plans is, and if you've been in maintenance, you know this. You can drive in on Monday morning, you got unplanned work in your way. How are you going to handle that? Another one is if you do a great job of planning and scheduling and you don't do precision maintenance, your people don't know how to align a shaft, don't know how to lubricate a bearing, why even do the planning and scheduling? So my point is that all of these 14, and you can divide these out different ways. Like I said, some people have 40. They're all interlinked together. So you can't just do one of them. You can't just do one and get results. That's why if you train people on planning and scheduling alone and wait 6 months, you'll see no results. Success comes from when a majority of the people are doing the best practices for a period of time. People have a long history. This plant, CastCo, has been in operation for 30 years. They've got these ingrained ways of doing things, and you don't just change it by sending them to an hour class on reliability best practices and training 2 people. You're not going to get the results. You need to, again, you need to repeat this over a long period of time before you get the results you're looking for. Now, this process works. Training people on all 14 of these elements, showing them how they work together, hand-holding people through the obstacles they're going to have unique in their culture, getting these in place. And you do that for a period of 3, 4, 5 years, you will get some good results. But you've invested in all this training up front. You've gotten the assets in good shape. You're spending a lot of money depending on your plant. I've seen upfront cost of $1 million, and then the next 2 or 3 years spending about another $2 million a year getting the assets in good shape, and then you start to get some impact from what you've done. So it's a massive upfront investment with a nice prize at the end. Okay, and this has worked. This will work. It's the way a lot of consultants have been trained on, back in the 80s, back in the 90s, in the early 2000s on how to deploy a reliability culture. You teach on all these points, but it is foolish to expect a return in less than a few years, and that's after a large upfront investment. So. Another thing that you got to depend on is that you don't have a sponsorship change. You don't have employees change. Like, what if the plant manager leaves? And then what if market conditions change? This assumes you're forging ahead. What if business goes south you have a coronavirus and for 6 months you do nothing? Well, you go back past square one. You go past because of the impact you've had on the culture. So is there an alternative to this approach? Let's look forward to that in the next video.